strike for where his residency remains.
Let me read a quote from the lead case on this that everyone cites. This is the Dane case. Read a couple little passages out of it because this is going to form the basis of anyone reviewing your decision. I'll just kind of start from some of the things that we've highlighted. It says, every person must have a domicile and he can have only one domicile. A person's domicile is usually the place where he has his home. Home is the place where a person dwells and which is the center of his domestic, social, and civil life. That's where it gets a little bit more complicated. A change of domicile takes place when a person with capacity to change his domicile is physically present in a place and, it's not an or, and intends to make that place his home for the time at least. The fact and the intent must concur. So the facts and that person's intent both have to be a place. It's not an either or, they're both parts of the equation. Domicile once acquired is not lost until a new one is obtained, and the original domicile is presumed to have continued in the absence of compelling evidence that it was changed. And then there was another element to that about, I spoke earlier about the quality of the evidence to rebut that presumption, but that's it. So it's the facts that we've all been talking about that go into Florida as well as Ron's intent. So both of those have to be compelling and basically unambiguous in your mind. So.
I make a motion to end any further discussion and take a vote.
Right, so we just for the boring parliamentary procedure element to this, we have I think a motion and a second on the floor to strike his residency. So, and I have a number of facts that have been mentioned that we've all talked about. So I would say that we should take a vote on that motion, or failing to take a vote on that motion, I think we should move to another one. But we have the motion on the floor. So just to kind of move things along a little bit, Chuck, unless you want to have further discussion. Are we ready for a vote on it, or?
Yeah, I guess we're ready for a vote.
Okay. So based upon the facts that we've talked about and some of the findings that you all have made, and based upon the standard I made, that I suggested in terms of compelling evidence with respect to facts and intent, what's the vote on that motion? Well, we could start at the end, or if anyone else wants to start.
I vote that we strike his salary.
Okay.
People to vote here.
I vote that we strike his residency.
Okay.
Strike.
Okay. All right.
And Ron, I truly wish that things were different, but at this point in time, I have to review the members of the board.
All right. So it's a unanimous vote. What I'm going to do is write this up for execution. Now, upon the vote, the execution of it, as I read the statute, the vote itself causes the writing is a subsequent manifestation of it. It's actually interesting the way it's written. If you are satisfied that he is properly registered, you shall enter in the register a statement. If you're not satisfied, then you strike the name. So based upon the vote, you'd strike his name. And Ron has an immediate right after, like right now, to challenge. The writing that I'm suggesting you also file is important for the record, but it's not necessary. Your action is enough for in the morning, Mary Lou, you to do that. We'll write it up over the next day or so for the board, or at least the chairman, to sign. Now, you'll all get a copy of it. I'm going to have it reflect basic summation of the evidence and the findings we discussed in the last half hour or so. So,
Does Mr. Gleason need to be notified in writing of this decision also?
there's, again, the statute's unclear with that. I think we would be remiss if we didn't provide him as well as the complainants with a copy of it, but everyone's getting their notice right now, and Ron's rights to challenge that accrue immediately. So you have an immediate right, I would say, and there's statutes for that. So I think that concludes it. So I'll work with you all on the written component of it, but the essential actions have been completed as I read the statutes. And Mary Lou and I will kind of double and triple check, just to make sure. So I think we can, unless everyone wants to
No.
discuss more, I think we're,
No.
Mr. Chairman, we're ready to adjourn.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting. I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.